Welcome back to another segment of Broadcasting on the Beach with Halftime Howie. Don't press send with the author, Katie Duffy Schumacher. I was reading something in the book, and I've seen this happen, and I can even remember a horror story, is that God forbid a child, a student, loses their cell phone. They act like it's the absolute worst thing in the world. One horrible story happened in Manhattan a couple years ago. A girl dropped a cell phone on the subway tracks. She went down to retrieve it and got killed by a subway car, oncoming subway car. So let's talk about that. Is that the parents' fault? Is that the child's fault? So let's talk about the importance of a cell phone in society today, especially, God forbid, child loses that or misplaces that cell phone.
It's an appendage. It is not a device anymore. Our children, I speak to students from second grade all the way through college. It is an addiction. The studies have shown that it has the same response as a drug. When it rings, when it dings, it sends off the same response in your brain. It is absolutely addictive. I have gone to schools where kids have left. They're in rehab centers because of gambling, online gambling. Some of them devices and the gamings they're addicted to. That we are giving these devices younger and younger. And I am going to tell you this, and I am going to be talking about this at my TED Talk, that there is no doubt in my mind that we are giving these devices to children who are not mature enough. Think about this logically. When computers first came out, they told us to put it in our kitchen. Put it somewhere where you know what they're on. So we did. Then my oldest son, who's now in college, he got the first phone, which was a flip phone, which there was texting. You'd press 3-5 times, one like you have. Yeah.
Let's get I love this. Oh, I love my flip phone from the dark ages.
Okay. And then the iPhone came out, and the smartphone. So my son asked me, can I have an iPhone? I said, I'm not spending $170 on a phone. And he said, it's a free upgrade. And I said, sure, it's a free upgrade, you can have it. I gave him a handheld computer. That's what I did. I gave him access to the world, and I wasn't the only one. So that's what happened. So now we're giving kids younger and younger and younger. Like I just said, second grade, more than half the class has them. So imagine that. Kids are impulsive by nature. That's what happens with maturity. That kids make mistakes. I made plenty of mistakes in my teens. I'm very glad there were not phones, that they documented. I am very glad that that didn't happen, because that's called growing up. So now we give an impulsive kid a device where they can be impulsive with it, and we're shocked. We're shocked at all the mistakes. We're shocked that they're taking pictures without clothing on. We're shocked that they're being mean to each other. Well, we gave it to them, but we gave it to them not knowing. And when you said whose fault it is, I'm a parent in the thick of it like everybody else, so I don't like to point the finger. We didn't know. And that's why the first chapter of this is unfamiliar territory. We are raising children in the technological revolution, and we didn't prepare them. But we can't, just because we don't know how to use technology like them, doesn't mean we can't give them guidelines. Doesn't mean you can't set limits. Doesn't mean you can't say, don't use your cell phone as an alarm clock. It doesn't belong in your room. You can't have computers in your room. Those are the things you need to do. You can't just put your hands up and say, oh, kids nowadays, this technology, it's not a fad. It's here to stay. Yeah. So we have to find its place for their sake. I don't want them to miss out on good relationships. What kind of relationships will they have if they can't look someone in the eye? If they can't, someone just told me their daughter came home from college and she has a new boyfriend. So she's always coming over today. So she goes, where are you going? She goes, oh, he just texted me, he's here. So the mother says, oh, he comes in. So the mother said, the kid couldn't have been nicer, he came in, he did whatever. She goes, and he didn't think there was anything wrong with that. But how are they gonna know if we don't say as parents, look, don't do that, make sure you go to their house. This is a new world, and they text each other all the time. We're outside, come outside. No, you shake my hand, this is my, and she said, he was a nice kid. It wasn't about that. This can't be the norm. Certain things are acceptable, and yes, I love that I can plunk my GPS and get here no problem. It's a great thing technology gave me. I can order my groceries from my bed and they show up at my house the next day. Great thing technology gave me. I don't want that interpersonal and that social and emotional growth to be stunted. That's what I worry about, the addiction piece.
All right, my co-producer, Rocco Pasafumi, has some excellent questions.
Yes.
So the forum is now yours, Rocco.
Thank you very much, Howie. The question I have for you, because I see this a lot on social media, the real danger of social media for me is the fact that it helps indulge people's worst tendencies, whether it will, allows people to kind of believe whatever they want to believe. It also allows people to be more potentially be more narcissistic. To you see people able to take pictures of themselves, which you couldn't do when you had a camera, in the same way. And just for me, talk about the pitfalls of social media and how they can adversely affect a person's well-being in terms of like becoming potentially narcissistic and narrow-minded and all that.
Well, yeah, it's very funny, man. In our day, it was like bad to be conceited.
Right.
Like, oh, people are so conceited. Now it's, oh, the likes, the selfies. It's so self-indulgent. And that you tend to believe you're that important. We're all here together, and you're no more important than I'm no important than a star, than anyone.
Yes.
We're all the same, right?
Yeah.
But what happens is when you grow up taking these selfies or looking for that like for your peer approval to such a level, it is normal for a teenager to overvalue their peers' feedback, but not to the level that this like button does, or
Right.
not to the level that this narcissistic behavior does.
Right.
Because kids' emotions change drastically by how many likes they get. So, for example, if you can really quantitatively say, I'm that popular, I have
Right.
that many people following me, I have that many people who like it, it's very enticing. So it is really preying on a kid's need to be accepted. Most kids want to fit in.
Yeah.
I would say 99% of kids want to fit in.
Right.
Now you put a device where they say, okay, well, I'm going to put something out on social media and I got 3 likes. Oh, I feel really bad about that.
Right.
So think of yourself, I always say at my presentations, I have a hamster. You're on a hamster wheel, and the hamster's really happy and he's running and he's getting bing, 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 bing. That's your likes. That's your peers saying, I like what you did. I like that post.
Yeah.
And then it slows down and the hamster feels bad. That's what happens. I've had stories of kids who, let's say they're an athlete and they played their sport since they're 7 and now they're a senior in high school and they post on social media, just became Nassau County's best linebacker. And the mother says, what's wrong with you? You should be flying high. And he says, I only got 4 likes on social media. That natural moment of pride is taken away like that. And that is important. That's what builds us and wants us to keep going.
Right.
So it's playing with your psyche. It's playing with your ego. And it's that you also, another one you're saying narcissistic and voyeuristic.
Yeah.
When someone looks at someone's wall, let's say a Facebook wall or even
Right.
Snapchat or Instagram,
Yeah.
they compare themselves to everyone else to a very unhealthy level. They're putting up their best day. They're putting up them at a great party, doing a great thing.
Right.
They also have bad days, but no one's saying, oh, guess what, my parents are an alcoholic. Or no one's saying, oh, my parents might get divorced. They're not writing that. They're writing, oh, me and my friends in Vineyard Vines, or me and my friends jet skiing through here, or at the beach, or all the great things. So you're getting a full sense of someone's life, and then it's making them feel bad about themselves.
Just to add to that, you think with what you're saying, do you think it can have a very adverse effect on their self-esteem?
100%. 100%. I think it gives you a false sense of friendship, and friendship is important and
Right.
should be valued.
Yeah.
So when it's a numbers game, and you think you have this many friends, a friend means the same on and offline. So I want you to value your friends. If you have a handful of friends, you're lucky.
Yeah.
So it gives you a false sense, and that's false insecurity. Friends are loyal, trustworthy, have your back. That's what a friend is.
Mm-hmm.
So when you put it out there and you want all of these people to like it, not everybody should like it. And adults have this problem too. Adults post things and say, you didn't like this, you didn't like this. Well, your sister's cousin's nephew's playing the violin does not interest me. I'm sorry. I have a big family. I can only give to so many people. So realistically, that's not real. My circle shouldn't be that big. I should care what my parents think. I should care what my close friends think. That's what we need to teach kids. They shouldn't care what everybody thinks.
Okay, great job. And we have one more segment. Great job, Rocco.
Yes.
Don't press send. Katie Duffy Schumacher.